Good morning. I am Mayor Sharon McShirley, and we had scheduled to have the coroner present today, but he is still fulfilling his responsibilities as the coroner, but has confirmed with me over the phone that the decedent, firefighter Scott Davis, has been identified. At this time, I'm going to introduce you Chief Sean Burcham, and he is going to have some comments about the incident yesterday.
Good morning, and I apologize, I'm going to be reading this for my sake. At 3:53 yesterday, the alarm come out to dispatch the Tabernacle Praise the Church on East Houston Road in Muncie. We had firefighting apparatus and battalion chiefs that were initially responded, which entails 19 firefighters showing up on scene. Immediately they called for a second alarm at 3:59 for an additional 8 firefighters and a tanker. We received tankers from Cowan, Liberty Township, Yorktown, Hamilton Township, Blunsville, Gaston, Albany, and Daleville. The cause of fire is still under investigation by the state fire marshals and ATF. This is an ongoing investigation. There, as such, we cannot answer any questions about the fire, specifics about it or anything. The Muncie firefighters fire department sustained 2 injuries, 1 fatality. Lieutenant Alan Richards was treated and released at Fall Hospital Wednesday night for 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Alan has been on the fire department for 16 and a half years. Firefighter Shane Mann sustained minor injuries and will receive, he's seen at the hospital this morning. He's been on the Muncie Fire Department for 14 years. And as the mayor spoke to, we lost firefighter Scott Davis yesterday in the fire. He came on the department June 13th, 2005. He was assigned to Engine 3 on the 2nd Battalion. Scott previously served as Yorktown Fire Chief prior to joining the fire department. Firefighter Davis was certified firefighter 1 and 2 firefighter responder. He was obtained aerial operations, tactical rescue operations, and hazmat.
I would like to thank you for coming today and giving us an opportunity to share information with you and answer questions that we are able to. This is a very difficult time for the family, for the firefighting family, and for the city of Muncie. We ask the community to remember the firefighter Davis and his family in your prayers. We ask the media to respect the family's privacy as they mourn the tragic loss of a husband, father, and son. We ask the community to support the Muncie Fire Department during this difficult period as they mourn the loss of a brother firefighter. As mayor, I have asked that all city flags be lowered through this period of mourning. We also have with us today the wife of Scott, Ray Ann Davis, who would like to come out and speak to you for just a few moments.
Thank you all for coming today. This is not something that I ever thought that I would be doing. Scott and I were supposed to grow gray together. I want to thank you all for coming and for supporting us. And trust me that we have felt your prayers and your love. Scott was a man of God, and I know where he is. And I know that this isn't forever, but this is just for now. And that we'll be with him again in time when God sees fit. So I want to tell you, just thank you for all of your prayers, because like I said, they have been felt. From our family and friends and those we've not met, again, just thank you for all of your support. To the Tabernacle of Praise Church, thank you for all of your prayers, because I know that as important as our church is to us, losing your church is very, very hard thing to go through. But if there's anywhere else that he was going to pass, no better than the house of the Lord. And to Scott's brothers, all of his fire department brothers, I want to thank you for never leaving his side and for staying with him all the way to the end. And there's been someone with him there's been someone by his side since the time that this happened. There's been someone by his side. So thank you very much to all of our fire department family, because you guys are family to us. Thank you. We have, I told so many people last night, I didn't know that we had so many friends until so many people started showing up at the hospital. And so when I think about our wrestling family and our fire department family and our church family and our family, we are surrounded by a ton of beautiful, beautiful, loving people. So thank you very much for all that you've done and for all that I know that you will all continue to do for my family and for my kids. Please keep them in your prayers. Thank you.
There are many people who deserve to be thanked today for all their efforts that they have extended to us. We have reached out to the community outside of Muncie to guide us in this process because we've not been through this, and appreciate everyone from the state and that's been involved in this process. From this point forward, Chief Sean Burcham will be the point of contact for the media. And I'm going to turn the podium over to him at this time for any questions that you might have.
Questions, and they're going to be brief. Really can't answer anything pertaining to the fire.
Do you have any funeral plans yet?
We're waiting on the family. So,
And when was the last time a firefighter was killed in line of duty here?
good question. I knew that yesterday. 1955.
Can you repeat again, please, the certifications that Scott had, you went through?
It's firefighter 1 and 2, first responder, hazmat, and tactical rescue, and then he was aerial apparatus.
Can you help us understand, there was a pretty poignant moment yesterday when firefighters were circled around Mr. Davis. Can you help us understand what was going on there, what was said in that circle, things like that?
Not so much said, just giving them a time to reflect, and that's when they were preparing the body to be removed, and just keeping anybody that could see not see. And when that happens, only firefighters remove firefighters from fires. That's why they were there.
Chief, can you tell us what kind of a man he was?
Super dad, super husband, loved the farm, and a pleasure to work with. When I was out on the floor, when I worked with him, just a real nice guy. He was a super guy.
How long had he been with the force again? Can you go through that? I know you said he's been with another department first.
I was going to say, we have a handout with the chief's notes on it for everyone, if that helps also, and we can student those.
We can, he came on in June 13th, 2005.
And can you talk just briefly in terms of the abstract about how the protocol would work in a fire where you have a large building that is engulfed? You have flames coming through the roof. We don't necessarily need to talk about this one yesterday. I understand the investigation is ongoing, but can you just talk a little bit about the protocol and how the department typically attacks a fire of that sort?
Sure. Well, just every fire is different. When they showed up, if there's light smoke, sure, they're going to go and investigate, see where the smoke's coming from. And we've got 2 in and 2 out with our manpower up now. We had that, and that's our protocol. That's what we did.
Chief, is your department fully staffed, and have there been any cuts? Did that play any part?
We're fully staffed, yes. I'm not going to elaborate on that.
And then we understand obviously we had some video from the flames actually coming through the roof. We understand Scott fell, is that correct?
That is, I will answer that, that is incorrect. This is all I'm gonna say, that we did have 2 firefighters up on the roof ventilating. That's part of protocol 2. No firefighters fell through the roof.
Do you know specifically what Mr. Davis was doing when the roof?
This is still under investigation, I will not answer that question.
Chief, is there standard protocol of review just in the department when something like this happens to obviously try to avert it ever happening?
Sure, we'll have an internal investigation, sure. We critique every fire we ever have, small, large, we critique each one of them, because every one you can learn something.
Have you been able to debrief the person who was closest to firefighter Davis about where he was and juxtaposition to Mr. Davis?
That's all being taken care of, and they're being interviewed.
And can you talk briefly about the certification of firefighter responder and tactical rescue? I'm assuming that the firefighter responder is going to be the more appropriate of the certifications in this particular case, is that right?
Yeah, firefighter 1 and 2, yes.
And can you talk briefly about what sort of training that involves?
I really don't feel like going into all that right now. That's a lot.
Okay. I mean,
If you want, I can get you listed, sort of what that takes to get there. I'll do it for you.
Chief, when you look back at what happened yesterday, you mentioned 2 other firefighters were hurt along with Scott. Were they all 3 working in unison at some point on an attack line, or is it too soon to know where they might have been in relation to where Scott was at the time of what might have gone wrong?
It's too soon to release any information like that.
How are the 2 guys doing? Are they okay?
They'll be okay.
Chief, this was a large fire, we understand that, but the fact that we had 2 firefighters that were injured and 1 deceased, I'm guessing that this is, something obviously went wrong here. Can you give us an idea what the timeline might be for going through a full investigation, and when we might know what the findings would be?
Probably tomorrow we'll have more information on that, and probably come out with a press release tomorrow on, once the investigation is complete, then we can give you more information on that.
What were other firefighters on the force doing at this point? How did they react to the death?
Well, they're not reacting real well. I mean, obviously, we're getting them help. In shock, they, you guys use the word brotherhood. They need each other, and they're a pretty close group of guys.
Chief, when you're on a scene like that, and what happened yesterday happens, what goes through your mind as a firefighter at the point where you don't know whether you can count on all of your guys? You had that moment of not knowing what happened. What's that like?
I guess I can answer that just from my viewpoint. When I showed up on scene, my stomach's never hurt that bad in my life, ever. Because at that point, we're trained to take care of stuff and solve problems, and we couldn't take care of that. You had some of the best firefighters on the fire department out there.
The mayor mentioned the flags being lowered. Is there a set time for that at this point, or is that just indefinite at this point?
The plan at this time is the flags will fly at half-staff until after the funeral services, which are yet to be determined.
And I know that you mentioned you're still working on those. Are there any specific things as far as ceremonial types of things that will happen for a firefighter that you already know might be in place? Any procession through town?
I did. We have reached out. I had a conversation with the state fire marshal yesterday and asked them to help us with protocol as we prepare for this activity. And they will have someone who's assigned to help us do that. Also, the International Firefighters Union is going to be helping with this also. Obviously, right now, the primary concern is the family and making sure that their needs are met and that that this very emotional event that we all have to go through is handled in the best way possible. And then secondary then to the fire department and their families as a whole. And as the chief has mentioned, our plan at this time is to release press releases daily as we get information and have it available that we can release to the public.
And can you confirm Scott was 40 years old, correct?
Yes.
And his wife's full name?
Renee, I'm not sure where.
Mayor, what kind of impact does this have on the city? Can you express to the public how you feel about what happened yesterday?
It's a very difficult time. As the chief said, how he reacted when he saw what he saw. When he called me, I felt sick at my stomach because I can't imagine someone actually going through that on our behalf. Our public safety officers go out every day and risk their lives for us, and oftentimes we don't recognize that and we don't honor them for that. And in addition to that, we have their families, who his wife very stoically stood here today and expressed her heartfelt gratitude, because they know every day when they send that spouse or that loved one out to protect each of us in the community that they may not come back home. And you pray every day